It's been a minute, so yeah, sorry about the delay between videos. Not that anyone's really gonna care. It's just, it's been a busy month and a half. I think it was like mid-May last time with the Cleaver video. Yeah, it's been a minute, so I apologize for that, but we finally have there's also just been nothing to really talk about. So we finally have some news regarding Pokemon Champions. It seems like we just kind of got a bunch of it today, which, 2 weeks before the new season, it makes sense. And I kind of wanted to talk about it because it's not a lot of stuff, but it's some stuff that I'm hoping is going to impact the game in a much more positive way. Because as of now, I've noticed just a kind of apathy for it, at least amongst me and the people I talk to, and just online. Like with the exception of indie regionals recently, like that was like the first time in a hot minute I've seen champions pop up. I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot this game came out, which sucks because I was excited for it, and I still am excited for it. Like, I still want it to do good. Just the problem really comes down to just a mediocre format and the fact that there's no mobile support, which I think was a big reason as to why. Like, I think a lot of people are excited and want to play Champions, but they just don't have a Switch at the moment, which, yeah, you know what? That's fair. That's a lot of people, and I'm sure once it eventually gets mobile support, which was one of the things that's confirmed, so I'm going to start with that. So it's coming June 17th, right? I believe that's the correct day. Just double checking Cerebi right now. Yes, June 17th, and that I also think is the day of Regulation MB. I think that's what they're gonna end up calling it, because looking back at the schedule, it's like every regulation will have two seasons. We had the first season back in April, May, and now the May-June season is the one we're currently in, and once that ends, we should be getting a new regulation, and a bunch of other information came out that seems to confirm that, with Raichu's Megas coming. But I'm going to talk about that in a bit because I really want to touch on the mobile support. Yeah, this is going to be huge, just because like, the Switch is a portable console. But let's be honest here, not all of us are taking our Switches everywhere. The fact that I can now just like in a car ride on the bus wherever, just put my phone out and do a couple matches, that's going to be really really interesting. And I think it's definitely going to make a lot of people play the game more because again, like a big setback with Champions being only on Switch is that people are only going to play when they have their Switches around. Now people are just going to play it whenever they want to, and it does the format, the way that app is set up, it should be pretty seamless. The way the game's set up should be pretty seamless across. So I'm really excited to really play around with that and just see how it runs on mobile. Like I know there were like some very I played on Switch too, so I definitely had a better um I don't want to say experience. Like I guess I'll say experience. Like I don't really know how to describe it. Like it was better, but I wouldn't say it was the best it could possibly be. Because there were definitely some weird bugs and like not performance issues with it. I know there was one thing going around. I don't know if it's still a problem where like you had to like close the app and reopen it to actually get it in like the full graphical quality, which is like, huh? I don't know. Like it looked fine. I'm curious to see how it'll look on mobile. I'm curious to see how it'll play on mobile. Like I just really want to see. I really want the mobile version in my hand. You can pre-register for it now, and it'll just automatically be downloaded on the 17th when the new season drops. And that new season, I think, is shaping up to be pretty. I don't know. The only thing we have confirmed that's coming back in the new season are the two Raichu Megas. Raichu was in the base game, but it couldn't Mega Evolve. Now we have both of the Megas. And they actually revealed the abilities. Raichu X is getting Electric Surge, and Y is getting No Guard. I called Electric Surge on X. I thought Y would end up keeping like Lightning Rod or something like that, but no, it got No Guard, which I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like they just kind of give No Guard to a lot of things, and I'm like, guys, it's just No Guard. Like, but you know what? Like, I think Raichu is going to be a very effective user of it. I just don't know if it's going to do. Like, I think the problem. Hang on, I'm just gonna pull up Raichu's base stats, Mega Raichu's base stats real quick, and it's gonna be on the screen. I'm not gonna have like game recording over this video. It's just gonna be static images. I hope you can survive with that. But I would just want to look at Mega Raichu's base stats real quick. Um, here is Okay, so like they're solid stats. I think like yeah, the stats are good. Like I'm not concerned about the stats. I'm concerned about the 60 HP stat, but that is actually going to be a big problem. But I do think that Raichu Y, yeah, 160 Spatak, 130 speed is faster than Mega Charizard. So if it's faster than Mega Charizard, oh yeah, it's base speed of 100. Yeah, no, this thing is gonna, and it's probably also gonna kill Aerodactyl. I think it's faster than Aerodactyl. Yeah, no, it's base 130 speed, base 160 special attack, Volt, not Volt, Zap Cannon coming off of this thing. That is going to kill a lot of things and paralyze everything else except for Garchomp. Garchomp's gonna be fine. Garchomp is gonna eat these two for breakfast if I'm gonna be honest here. Like I'm not because I think this is the first like really threatening. These two are probably the first like quote unquote threatening electric types I've seen in this format. Like there was Rotom, but I never consider Rotom threatening. So it's really good to just have these kind of tools around and just having like stats like Raichu Y with no guard, with Zap Cannon, with Focus Blast. So when like Ursa Luna comes around, right, that it can take care of that. Does it learn like any fairy special moves? Yeah, it learns D Gleam. That's not awful. Um, and I'm looking at the ZA move set. I'm just gonna look at the Scarlet Violet moves. Because I'm on Pokemon or Pokedex or PokemonDB.net right now. So does it still get um? It gets Draining Hits, Disarming Voice. Like it gets some fairy moves. Um, it's not really getting a lot of like. It's not getting good special fairy moves. I would say like so Alluring Voice and Scarlet Violet. So I don't know if it keep. I don't think it gets D-Gleam in Champions. So I don't know what it's going to do against I don't know, Raichu. I don't know what it's going to do against Garchomp, but it's going to do a lot to anything that isn't a ground type. So, I mean, it can use, like, I can very easily see the moveset just being protect, um, what is it? Protect, Zap Cannon, Focus Blast, and then whatever other special coverage move you want, or just honestly just Fake Out, because both of these you get Fake Out, and that is going to be really good on both of them. But again, my main concern with the Raichus is just that HP set. It's a very low base 60 HP does not get you very far. And, especially just one sucker punch from King Gambit, that might be enough. But it's got solid, and it's not really solid bulk now that I'm looking at it. It's 55 defense and 80 special defense. So it's not the bulkiest thing in the world, but it will hit like a truck and it will outspeed a lot of things. So as long as you're careful to just avoid priority moves and, just some good board positioning, you you're gonna get kills with this thing. This thing is gonna do damage. Like I'm not gonna pretend like oh it's worthless. Like this thing is good. This thing is gonna be good, and I'm gonna put that call now. It's just a matter of like how good will it be and how easy will Y be to take down X. X I think is in a very similar boat, but a much weirder one because it's slower. It hits less hard, but it's bulkier. So it still has the 60 HP, but it has 95, 95 for defenses, and then like 135 attack and a 110 speed. So it's faster than Charizard. Charizard Y. Right? It is Mega Charizard Y's speed of 100 still, right? I just want to make sure my numbers are right because you can never tell with the internet. Yeah, Charizard has a speed of 100. So it's still outspeeding it, and it's still going to do damage. And Electric Terrain as an ability is a great ability for a Mega to have because in the same way like the weather setters, like the Mega weather setters like Charizard, Tyranitar, Frostlass, Abomasnow, like what's good about that is that being able to set the ability on a Mega evolution instead of just on a switch, and it allows you to on a dime get your weather back if you lose it or just transition to it without swapping and with that while still being able to attack. So it's a really nice momentum setter if you can keep your Pokemon alive long enough, or if you just want to do it off rip, you can do that too. But again, you can also just swap out, swap it back in. So having another terrain setter on a Mega, I think I'm fine with. An electric terrain specifically is going to be really useful here because it's going to shut down Venusaur sleep. It's going to shut down Sneasler. It's good. Well, not fully shut it down. Well, actually, Dire Claw can't paralyze it because it's an electric type and it can't put it to sleep while the terrain's up. So all Sneasler can really do is poison it, which is not great because again, it only has the 60 HP stat. But if anything to cut down Sneasler's options, I'm perfectly fine with that. But this thing's definitely going to do a number to Charizard teams. I don't think it's going to be. This is definitely a much more solid answer to it because it'll outspeed no code the Charizard. It will deal with it can the Venusaur can't really put it to sleep or put anything to sleep for that matter for a few turns, so that gives you time to deal with that. I think it outspeeds Aerodactyl too. What is it? I'm just looking at Mega Aerodactyl speed. Um, Mega Aerodactyl has a base speed of 150, so it's not outspeeding. So Aerodactyl actually does outspeed both of them. So forget I said that. But base Aerodactyl, I think that might have. It's definitely slower. Um, at 130 is its initial speed, so its speed ties with Mega Raichu Y, which is the faster of the two. So Aerodactyl will still probably be a threat, but not as much because, what's it gonna do against the Zap Cannon flying at its face? Well, it's gonna attack and probably, I don't know if it gets Earthquake, it gets ground moves. What ground moves does it get? It's gotta get like Earthquake or yeah, it gets Earthquake. Okay. Yeah. So I don't Aerodactyl might actually still be good as an overall counter to Charizard because it also counters Raichu. And I just don't know how good Raichu will. Again, I don't know how good Raichu will be. Back to Raichu X. This thing, I don't see this thing being like an offensive. I see this playing more like a Rillaboom where you fake out. It gets Volt Switch, right? This thing gets Volt Switch. It probably gets Volt Switch. Yeah, Volt Switch. So you fake out, you Volt Switch to, do a little damage and to get out of there. And then you're just constantly reapplying the terrain to make sure it stays up, constantly faking things out, constantly just being a bit obnoxious. You're kind of, again, you're playing it kind of like a Rillaboom. And then for when you need that offensive, like, nuke, you have that Volt Tackle to really fire off. The problem with Volt Tackle compared to something like Grassy Glide, Wood Hammer, well, it's actually a similar situation to Wood Hammer where you have that recoil damage, and that is going to hurt you a good chunk more than Rillaboom, because Rillaboom has the grassy terrain to kind of replenish that health. You're going to need like a Sinistchar or something because you can't give it leftovers, you can't give it a Citrus Berry. You have no way of healing it outside of just external forces. Because unless you want to rest, it gets rest, I think. Yeah, it gets rest, so you can you can do that. I actually don't know if that'll work in the electric terrain. What if you rest in electric terrain? Does it just like stop because you can't go to sleep? So yeah, rest won't even work. So it's one healing move. I guess by the look of it. Um, anything else? I'm not seeing anything else that can sustain it. So yeah, I don't know what you're gonna have to do with him to make him work, but like they're probably only gonna be able to fire off one, um, maybe two Volt Tackles, but again, what's it called? Its speed of 110 is solid, but it's also not the fastest thing in the game, so it's very susceptible to just getting, you know, obliterated by, again, an Aerodactyl, probably even Garchomp too. Because what's this thing going to do against it? Gets Play Rough. So at the very least, this can deal with Garchomp a little better, but like I'm not expecting this thing to do anything against Garchomp. I'm not. It's a more supportive Mega, and I don't. Granted, I've been wrong on supportive Megas. I still think Scovillain's a little overhyped, but No, this is definitely an environment where supportive megas can thrive a little bit more. I just don't know Raichu is if Raichu X is good enough to use a mega slot on, just so you have that sort of electric terrain Rillaboom variant. So I don't know. It's gonna be. I don't want to make any final judgments until I actually see them in the game. But these are just kind of my predictions. But I think these are going to be good, but I think they're going to be very susceptible to new toy syndrome, where people think they're going to be a lot better than they are, but they're really held back by that 60 HP. That is not a lot to work with, especially when one of them needs to spam a recoil move, and the other one, and both of them are slower than something that can spam Earthquake. Like, it's just, they're fine. I don't think they're going to be great. Base Raichu has seen some success in the past, but mostly as like a fake out user. So, again, like it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's like if I'm going to spam fake out, I'm going to spam fake out with Incineroar and probably Rillaboom because I have a strong feeling that since they're giving us an electric terrain setter, they're at the very least going to bring back the old terrain setters just because like you kind of you kind of need it to be balanced like that. I don't know what like I don't think any of the other megas would really suit the other terrains. I don't think there's are there any other like grass, fairy, or psychic type megas that are left that have not gotten new abilities? Meowstic would have been perfect for psychic terrain, but they gave it trace. So there's a possibility they update that, but I don't think they would. Um I'm not seeing like yeah, I'm going through the list now. At some point, I think I'm gonna make a video of just like my lucky predictions for the remaining ZA megas and their abilities, but like Malamar could get psychic terrain, but I would rather it get something more Trick Room or Contrary inspired rather than just psychic terrain. Um, so, yeah, like all the grass ones I think are covered actually, so there's nothing. I don't know. Like I don't think there's anything left here to really give new terrain abilities to except for like Electros and Zeraora. But we already have electric terrain, and I feel like they're gonna get more tailored abilities rather than just electric terrain again. So there really isn't anything crazy going on here. It's just like I feel like we're gonna get Rillaboom back, and we're gonna get Indeedee back, and we're gonna get Galarian Weezing back, and possibly even Concursion, just as another option, so you don't have to sink your Mega into a terrain. Rillaboom, I don't know if that's gonna make this format better or worse, but it's gonna be a Sinistry option. Indeedee is gonna make Sneasler terrifying, but again, we have the Raichu to deal with that now, like Raichu X, so you can just kind of it works great as a Sneasler counter. Like I think it'll work great if it's countering specifically other terrains and just being obnoxious like that. Because again, if you play it like a Rillaboom, you're gonna have that exact same effect. It's just I'm not looking forward to having to play Psy Spam on ladder again, especially when you have a whole flock of new players who are going to play Psy Spam. God, because Psy Spam is just one of those archetypes that are so easy to execute. So it's just so annoying. And then Galarian Weezing will exist. If we get Galarian Weezing, that means we're probably going to get normal Weezing and neutralizing gas back too, which honestly is probably more exciting than fairy terrain. So that would be useful. That would actually be really, really great. I don't know what you would use that with. Like, there's a lot of things you can shut down, but there's nothing like, oh, Floette. Yeah, you could use it to shut down Floette. You, it's neutralizing gas. I don't need to explain why it's a good ability. It's a good ability. Like everything in the format kind of relies on their abilities for the most part. Like a lot of the megas do. Like most of the megas are made or broken by their abilities. So being able to shut that down is gonna be really nice. I just I don't know. There's not a lot to talk about specifically with Regulation MB. I think it's gonna be called because this one's MA. I'm assuming it's gonna be another mega format, and they're I'm not gonna say anything until I can, see what Pokemon are added. I can just make predictions, and the only predictions I can make are more of the ZA Megas that they missed out on. I can honestly just see them throwing the rest of them, throwing the rest of like the non-legendary ones because there's only a handful left. There's the Raichus, um, Chimeko's there, the Z Megas, Staraptor, um, Scolipede, Scrafty, Electros, um, Pyroar, Malamar, Barbaracle, Dragalge, Golisopod, Phalanx, Tatsu, and Excalibur. So not a lot. Like that's just like the non-legendary ones. So I feel like they're just gonna dump all of them. And again, I probably will make a video soon predicting giving my final ability predictions before all these guys come out. And I'm already one for one, or one of two, because again, I don't know, like I knew it was gonna get electric. And I didn't know, but I figured it was gonna get electric surge because that just made sense, and because we haven't had like a mega terrain setter, so I'm really excited to see it. I'm excited to see how the Raichus play. It's just I don't know how they're gonna play. I don't know how good they're gonna be because that bulk is saying I'm excited to see this finally come to mobile. I thought it was gonna take a lot longer. I thought it was gonna be like fall. I was really worried when they said it wasn't coming at launch, but it's only coming, you know, a regulation set after launch. So I'm like, that does kind of explain why they made it a little more restrictive because they knew they were gonna have a smaller player base. Maybe that's why they made it as restrictive as it was. But it's just I don't know. I want more items, man. That's really what I want. Like I don't really care what new Pokemon they add. Just give me the choice items, Life Orb. Give me stuff I can build with, and not the stupid type berries. Oh my god, what? Like that will always be the most baffling thing. Like why they just restricted the items to like they're gonna say it was for introductory reasons to get new players into it to not overcomplicate things. Are you telling me new players cannot comprehend the concept of a a choice band, but they can understand a choice scarf perfectly fine? Is that what you're telling me, Mr. Pokemon? Okay, but yeah, that's. I just wanted to give my thoughts on the new Raichus, the fact that we're getting a new regulation in a couple weeks. I didn't really touch on indie regional, but shout out the one guy who beat Wolfie. What was his name? Looking it up now. Arsal Puri, Fairmasters. Like, shout out him. He played phenomenally well, and I don't know. I'm definitely I'm curious to see how this competitive circuit is gonna run now that we have champions, and now that we're gonna have mobile champions very soon. So it's just gonna be a lot of new blood, and I'm really excited to see that. I really do want to go to a regional at some point. I don't think I'm gonna do good. Don't get me wrong. I think I'm going to do awful, but I'd like to go at least once, just just to try my hand at it, see how far I can get. But that's also part of why I want to start doing this channel a little bit more now that school's calmed down and I'm back home. So I really want to just spend some time and learn how to really get into it. So uh, thank you for watching. If you want to continue seeing more stuff from me, I will hopefully be a little more consistent now that I have an actual microphone. I don't know how well the sound and audio is going to be on this, but I know it's not been great, so I apologize for that. But yeah, thank you for watching.